Hello everyone, you're welcome back to our channel. My name is Franklin from Couples Talk. Now on today's video, I want to talk to you about money tips for married couples. Now, one of the reasons I want to do this very topic is because when you take a look at the number of divorces around the world today, you will agree with me that money plays a huge role when it comes to the cases of divorce that is happening on a regular basis. And I must say this, when it comes to finances, this is a very sensitive topic for married couples. The reason is because one of the things that makes the marriage to go smoothly the way it ought to go, it is finances. I'm telling you, it may not look as though that is what it is, but that's the truth. When it comes to finances brings a balance in any home. So today we are going to be looking at a few things to help couples out there, to be able to manage their finances well as a couple. Remember, these are two different people coming from two different backgrounds, and they say they want to build a future together. If this is going to happen, then there are certain things that needs to be in place. The first thing I want to talk about here is that when it comes to your marriage, beloved, you have to be transparent, about whatever financial situation that is on ground. Now, this is very, very important. As a man, you have to be transparent about this with your wife. As a woman, you have to be transparent about this. Okay, this is very, very important. The reason is because if you are not transparent, if maybe one party keeps showcasing financial situation that is not, then at the end of the day it will blow up and become a problem. So from the very beginning, be transparent. Even down the line, maybe 4 or 5 years after the marriage, the both of you must continually be transparent about the financial situation that is on ground. In other words, if you as a man, you're borrowing money, your wife should be aware. If you as a woman, you're borrowing money, your husband should be aware. Whatever the financial situation is all about, you have to be transparent about it. Let your spouse know that this is the current financial situation on ground. As a matter of fact, the both of you are expected to plan this thing together. So the first tip you've got to understand is that you have to be transparent. Now, the second tip is that you need to have a financial goal and a financial plan. Now, this is very, very important, because if a couple does not have, a financial goal, they don't have a financial plan, even though they are earning, it will go nowhere. Even though they are earning, it won't do much in the home. You get the point? It won't do much because there is no goal, there's no financial goal, there's no financial plan. Now, I also have a financial mentoring channel, Money Code Academy. Now, if you have not subscribed to that channel, I would encourage you to do so, because on that channel, what I talk about is how to manage your money, multiply your money, and journey to financial freedom. So that is something that you should do. I will just put the link of that channel below. On that very channel, I've taken our time to talk about financial goals, financial plans, how important these things are. However, for the sake of this very video, I want you to understand that having financial goal and having a financial plan, it's very, very important. Financial goal is like a destination where the both of you are going. And guess what? This goal, it changes per time. You get the point now? For example, those who are newly wedded, the financial goal that they are supposed to have is a goal on how to prepare for their children. You get the point now? Because of course, when they come together as husband and wife, before you know what is happening, they're already planning on how to have babies. And if those babies are going to come, there are certain things that are needed. And that is where, in most cases, you need to get, health insurance that will include maternity. Okay. And all these things has to be planned. The baby needs to put on some clothes and all that. So all these financial goals need to be in place, and of course many other financial goals as well, but there has to be a financial goal. And then when the financial goal has been fixed, then you guys will come up with a plan on how to achieve the financial goal. Now, this is very, very important. I'm telling you, there are couples today who don't really think this is important, but I'm telling you, this is so important. And then for those who are already married, who have been married, you have children now, the financial goals will also come in accordingly. If you already have kids, of course they will pay school fee. You get the point now. So you have to now start thinking in that direction. You have to now start planning in that direction. Now, when you are receiving your salary, or you are receiving your paycheck, or whatever profit you're making from your business, you start planning in that direction. You start putting out money in that direction. And this is where budgeting comes into play. You get the point now. So for a couple, financial goal and plan, it is so important. This is something that the both of you will sit down together to analyze. It's not a one person's job. It's not something that the man will do the plan. It's not something that the woman will do the plan. It is a plan that will take place, together. So that's something that is very important. The third financial tip is to have a family budget. Now, when your goal has been set, when your plan has been set, then the family budget need to come into play. This one is very important, because budgeting is how you administrate the finances that comes to you. A lot of times it is not about how much you earn, it is about how much you spend. Of course, how much you earn is important, but the thing is, no matter how much you earn, if you don't administrate it properly, you will always have issues with it. You get the point? You will always find that your earnings are never enough, and that's because your earnings are not properly administrated. So when you earn, it's not going anywhere. But when there's a family budget, as soon as the earnings comes in, you guys are able to plan it, you are able to administrate it, and so your money already have a destination. That way you will avoid excessive spending. That way you will avoid spendings that are not necessary, expenses that are not necessary. When you do it that way, it will go a very long way to help. So family budget must be in place. Now, the next financial tip that needs to be in place is that the both of you must be transparent on your spending habits. And this one is very important, because a lot of times, the man could develop a certain kind of spending habit, or he could have a certain kind of spending habit, and the lady could have a certain kind of spending habit. And some of these habits may not exactly, align with your current earnings. So for that reason, the both of you must be transparent. You must be transparent about your spending habits, so that you can come to a common ground. There are some habits that the both of you are going to help each other, cut off. Yeah, that's the truth. If, for example, the man has this uncommon appetite for spending, for buying things that are not needed, then the woman has to be the one to caution. If the woman has this uncommon habit of just spending and buying things, buying bags, buying shoes and all that, then the man has to be the one to caution the woman. And when this is happening, the both of you must cooperate. It's so important that you cooperate. A lot of times what I've seen in many marriages today is that one person always refuses to cooperate. Sometimes this has to do with the man. The man wants to have his way, wants to be able to spend his money on several other things that the wife may not be aware of. It shouldn't be that way. As a man, you must be transparent about your spending habits. As a woman, you must be transparent about your spending habits. The both of you must bring in some level of accountability, financial accountability, and the both of you has to be accountable to each other. That way, you are actually on a journey together, and I'm telling you, that journey will not fail, because the both of you are accountable to each other. You get the point now? So this is something that is very, very important. Now, the next financial tip here is that as a family or as a couple, you must have a family emergency fund. Of course, you know what happened last year, how the whole city in the world shut down and people could no longer go out, could no longer go to work. And then everyone had to depend on their savings, and those who didn't have savings, it was a very rough road at the end of the day. So on this occasion, you see that people began to understand the importance of having an emergency fund. And remember, an emergency fund is this kind of savings that you are keeping for emergency. You get the point now? And we always say that you should start with $1,000. There has to be $1,000 somewhere that you have kept, that you are not willing to touch no matter what happens. You are only going to touch it if and only if there is this serious emergency on ground. You get the point now? So emergency fund has to be there. Now, I know that there are many families today who are unable to actually keep these, maybe because the earnings are not so much. I totally understand that. But the reason I'm sharing these financial tips with you is to help you understand the things that you are supposed to do. This becomes a challenge for you. You may not be able to do it now, but you should have it in plan. And if you are able to do it, why not go ahead and just start putting out money in that direction, You get the point now. I, for one, I am one person who have enjoyed the benefit of an emergency fund over the years. I'm telling you, over the years, I've enjoyed the benefit of an emergency fund. And you too, if you put it in place, it will go a very long way to help you. You get the point now. So remember these two things. If you are not able to do it, then plan for it. No one is putting pressure on you to do it now, okay? But having to understand that it is important, then you should plan for it. And then the second thing is that if you are able to do it, then why not go ahead and begin to plan for it. You may decide to be keeping $100 every month or every week, depending on how convenient it is for you. But the most important thing is, do not ignore this part as a family, because a lot of times anything can come up. Life do happen sometimes, and when it happens, it shouldn't take you unaware. You get the point now. So that's something that you truly need to work on. So that will be all for the part 1 of this very video. I will see you in the next part. Now, if you've gotten value from this video so far, just kindly give the video a thumbs up. It will help the YouTube algorithm to, get it out there so that more people can discover it. And let me know what you think. Let me know what resonated with you in the comment box. And most importantly, if you have not subscribed to this channel, make sure you do so. Don't wait any longer, so that when I post the part 2 of this video, you'll be the first to get that video. All right, so that'll be all for now. I'll see you in the next part. Keep shining. God bless you.